This video has been sponsored by PCBWay. Alright, this is a little bit of an update on my HP 197 Polaroid cameras that we had used previously to take quite decent Polaroid pictures of our oscilloscope, like in the good old times. Hello and welcome back. If you follow the channel, you know that we previously restored two gorgeous oscilloscope cameras from HP. They took pictures of your oscillograms using instant Polaroid film, and that worked spectacularly well. The camera used a Polaroid 107 film, which came in a very cleverly designed 10-pack cassette. The film was black and white and very fast, clocking in at 3000 ASA. Unfortunately, pack film was discontinued by Polaroid in the 1990s. Fuji kept it alive but abandoned it in the early 2010s. I was still able to find an expensive Fuji pack with a 2015 expiration date on eBay. Take an exposure, pull the film through, wait a minute, peel it back, and voila! The full Polaroid experience still somewhat works with our tired film. But this is obviously not sustainable. Polaroid film has since been partially resurrected, but unfortunately not the original pack and peel away process. So as a workaround, I extracted an individual film sheet from a modern Fuji Instax wide cassette, stuffed it into an empty pack, shot the picture, stuffed it back into the cassette for extraction and development by the Instax camera, and guess what? It did work. But that involves two complex film manipulations in complete darkness. Fine for the sake of a demonstration video, but too cumbersome in practice. However, commenters pointed out that Lomography offers a new Instax back that I should look into. It's called the Graphlock. Sure enough, this back holds an Instax wide cassette and can push the film out for development. It uses the Graphlock mounting system to affix it to the camera. If I made a Graphlock adapter for my HP camera, I could mount this back on it and have a practical solution. Thanks for the tip, faithful viewers. Let's try it out. And I had shown a complicated procedure on how to put an Instax film inside a Fujifilm cassette. It involved many trips in the darkroom, but it did work. However, in the comments, people let me know that Lomography made a back, Graphlex back that fits the new Instax format. So you can put them here. So I haven't tried it this way, I guess. There you go. And then you're done. And this is meant to go into a Graphlex 4x5. So Graphlex, what's all that about? Graphlex was a brand of large format professional cameras. They made a 4x5 model that was very popular with the press, shown here. By the way, nerd alert, the handle for the Graphlex flash on the left is what was used to make the lightsaber handle for Star Wars. But we digress. The camera had a very nifty mounting system at the back. It was a quick lock bracket called a Graphlock that you could use to quickly swap different types of film holders. Here is a view of the back of the camera with the Graphlock mount. Next to it, you can see a focusing plate that you could quickly mount on the camera back to make your composition. When satisfied, you would swap it with a film back, like this holder here for a 4x5 film plate. There were roll film holders like this one, and you guessed it, Polaroid film holders. The Graphlock is an Instax film holder meant to be used with such vintage cameras. Just what the doctor ordered. There apparently was a Graphlex back that was available for the 197, because this in the 197 is removable. So you can put a Graphlex back here. I don't have it, but I decided to make myself one. So I made an adapter which I designed in Onshape, which got me sane after I went insane with Fusion 360. I just could not take that thing. The challenge is to get it to fit this model, which is a model of the opening right here. It's a trick opening because it can slide. So it has springs and reference surfaces and all that good stuff. So I drew a little Graphlock body model and make it fit. So for that I made this adapter, a little pressure plate over here. So if you look at it, it's just this part. Let me remove the springs. I was hesitating whether I should machine it or 3D print it, and I'll do all of the above, but Eric 3D printed me a prototype, and I also made a prototype of the pressure plate, and this seems to work. There you go. It would go in here. I still have to put the felt. I didn't quite do it, and boom, there you go. I had to put it upside down so it comes down this way, and it's not centered either, so you have to use the feature of the 197 that it slides and center it. There you go. And then if that works, I should be good. So I'm going to try it with that, but eventually I want a better part, a functional part, and for that I ordered one on PCBWay. And that's going to be interesting because PCBWay, you know them for their PCBs, but they also do CNC and 3D printing. There you go, get started. It's as simple as uploading your file, if I can find it. Right, there you go. You just upload your part. There you go. You can do it in nylon and stuff that you can make functional part out of, just not prototype parts, way stronger. For the spring plate on top of it, they do sheet metal. So I also uploaded my sheet metal part, the part that goes around and holds the Graphlock body. I could spend the time and machine it, but man, for 30 bucks, I'm going to have it made and do something else during that time. Alright, there was a slight delay in the project as I had to repair the plugins here, but they now work fine. I need to make another piece here. I need to make a focus plate before I can focus this on the new plane, which is farther back. So I'll use the same technique as I did before. I'll cut a piece of transparent plastic and then I'll scratch it. So I got myself a little prototype template. Alright. So last time I used 2,000 grits. This time I'll try 6,000 grits. It was a little rough last time, and people ask me all the time, what's that bottle of maple syrup? And it's just the water for the sponge, for the soldering iron sponge. Let's see. Okay, that should do. Open the shutter up. Okay. I can see a faint image on it already. And I need to put that in focus, which I don't remember is on the other side. So I have to be in front of the camera, unfortunately. Alright, I appear to have run into a snag. I don't have enough focus to reach, I would need to be closer than this thing can do. Dang it. And by the way, this is the original focus plate. Viewer gave me one. Thank you, viewer. There we go. You have to push it up. There we go. Alright. Is there anything we can do? There might actually be an adjustment. You see this long screw here. It's a long screw that goes all the way to the back. If I move this up, there it is, there it is. I think this might just be the single screw adjustment here. Oh, we might be saved. Yeah, wouldn't you know it? I think it works. Will that gain me enough? I think it will. Yeah, now I've gone further. So will it work any better? I don't know if you can see, but it now barely does it. I think the focus is probably a tiny bit further. Nothing I can achieve without putting a slightly divergence lens over the back of the optics, and I don't know if I have one of these in my collection somewhere. Alright, so things should be now way simpler than before. We have the Instax film. There is a black slide. Put it in there, it's at 0. We go here. Let's see. Yep, first one was dark slide. Use the same setting as before, 1/4 second, f4. Exposure. And did it work? I don't see nothing. No, it's coming, it's coming. This is not too bad. I am just having some light leaks. No, this is still the prototype thing. Alright, first try. I would say a success. Yeah, I'm a tad out of focus though. I really need to order that lens. Alright, the PCB way order has arrived. And we'll see. I have tried their 3D printed stuff before. It was great. That's when I repaired the HP disk drives. But I have not tried their thin metal fabrication yet. Sheet metal. So, ooh, okay. Well, that's a much nicer looking part than the one we made ourselves. And that should be the metal part. Ta-da! Which will help me with the leaks, because one of the problems I have is I don't with my prototype I don't have the full wrap around, so I think I have a leak over here, a light leak. Just a quick dimension check, and it fits perfect. And where am I at? Let me check fit this. Yeah, perfect fit. All right, we just need to drill the holes and we'll be done. And I made little dimples for alignment. So on the other side it's a 1024, so the hole is big enough, so I had a printed hole. I'll just ream it. That's okay, this is how it works. Okay. This on. Okay, here we go. Okay, my trace has appeared. You can peek in there, you'll see the trace. Close that. We'll take that out. This. That. It seems to have worked. I still have some light leaks, which I have to trace down. I might need my light gasket after all. We are going to take advantage of our new dual sweep. So it's going to be a surprise. Turn it on. Remove the shield. Expose. Put back the shield. Develop. Ta-da! Oh yeah, I see the dual sweep. I think the focus is a little soft because I don't quite get into focus. Alright, not bad, but the focus is a little soft. The original optical system is designed for a specific position of the film at the back of the camera, known as the back focal plane. The image on the oscilloscope CRT gets focused by the objective onto the film plate, which is in that plane. A slight adjustment in focus is possible by moving the entire camera, but that's a setting that's expected to be done only once for a particular scope and then you lock it. However, the Lomo Graphlock adds quite a bit of thickness in order to fit the ejection mechanism, so the film plane is moved further back. Even when the camera is moved all the way in, the image still focuses in front of the new film position. In order to correct for that, I want to add a weak diverging lens at the back of the objective. It will make the image rays diverge so that they focus a little bit further back. That's essentially how you would correct for nearsightedness with glasses. Note that normally you should not add a single lens at the back of an objective to try to change its focal length. This will screw up the geometry, aberration and color correction of the objective. This is why objectives are made with carefully calculated combinations of many lenses, which correct for all the aberrations. But we are in the special case where we are only attempting a small correction. The added lens should be very weak and it should not introduce any noticeable aberrations, or so I hope. I looked for a cheap lens of the right diameter for a quick proof of concept. I found a bargain price minus 250mm lens on Amazon. Good, I was thinking that or weaker, so let's give it a try. So first I went cheap and I went for the only long focal lens I could find on the interwebs for a few bucks. And that's a 250mm convex lens. And I mounted it and I placed it right in front of the objective lens. And unfortunately, the focal is a little too short. So the focal plane is right over here. So I'm like a hand out. So I need a lens that is not as strong. And that's why I bought my little case here. So let's try a few. So since the idea seems to have merit, I splurged on a cheap optometrist lens set on Amazon again. I wanted a lens set for the lab anyhow. Let's correct our camera myopia. So a 250mm focal lens, which is what I had before, my internet lens, that's a 4.0 diopter. It's 1/, let's try 2. That would be 1/2 meter diopter. Let's see if I can balance it. Yes, I can. All right. Oh yeah, much better. It's over here. I might be within range. almost. I am at the extreme. So a tad bit less than that. Let's try. So that's 1.75. This 2 was a little too much. Oh man, I'm really good at this. All right, and so now I should be all the way over here. Okay. Yeah, and I think I'm getting a little bit more of the square. So because at the same time it refocuses, it gives me a little bit of how do you call that?
Yes.
Field of vision.
Field of view.
Field of view. So I have a little bit more field of view. So I think that's the winner. That's the 1.75, which is a little bit of over half a meter back focal length. Alright, so now I have to find a way to permanently mount it in there, or semi-permanently mount it in there. So that's the winner lens. Alright, so that's what you usually, the optician will put on your fake prescription thing to make you see better. Let me figure out a way to mount it. I think I'll try to mount it into this, which is a former filter of some kind. Okay. Nope. Oh, this is highly annoying. Take it. Okay, just managed. And that gets in there. And then, is it a standard diameter? No, it's not. Freaking God. Well, maybe it will center it. If not, I'll have to turn it. Use the lathe. I think that will work. Yeah, I got it. Alright. See if we got lucky. Okay, so that's my mounted lens. Here we go. In a filter, you can see how it's a divergent lens. Just as the actual troy diameter, so it drops in. And I'll probably hot glue it or just do a cyanolite. Okay, 3 dots of cyanolite. Alright, this seems to have worked. So alright. Can I focus now with my new lens? I think it would be here. Okay. So I put some film in there. We have a screen. And alright. How I do this? I do this way. Isn't that amazing? I don't know if it worked because I took the film out. It might have been exposed. No, I see something coming through.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think it's in focus. If you compare it to that. Yeah. And now it's in perfect focus. Yeah, it worked. Let's try another one. You get your new Instax video film. Put it on here. And this way. Ta-da! The first one should be the dark one. Okay, dark one. Exposure at 5.6. Alright. Black, another one. Alright. So these are two different exposures. I think this was a winner. Yeah, that's f5.6 and that's f8. Well, I don't know if I would recommend it, but it does work. This is the same as this, and it only takes a camera like this and some of the magic of the Polaroid guys, which should have gotten a Nobel Prize if it were me. And then is the other way to do it. You know, it didn't work as well because I think, see? Because it interfered with the scanning. Oh, you've just proven it, Philip. This is far superior. That's the way to do it. Pro camera, here we go. After half an hour of looking. Alright, so this one I can adjust 1/30th of a second. That should work. 2x. 1/30th of a second. Okay. Oh no! It's terrible. This is far superior. Okay, I'll give it one more try and then I'll give up. 1/15th of a second. Alright. Removed. No! It sucks. Alright, we've proven that Polaroid film is better. Okay, here's the proper way to do it. I have set up my camera properly. 1/5 of a second on a tripod. Giant one. And now it works. I would say it takes a lot of equipment to beat just this. Alright, I ended up having way too much fun and making Lissajou curves. Look at this. I think it was all very worth it.